Hello, everybody. My name is Diva, and today I'm going to be presenting to you the engineering process when it comes to FTC. So first of all, what are we going to be covering? We're going to be covering the basic steps of the engineering process, which is brainstorming, team discussion, sketching, CAD, aka computer-aided design, Fusion 360 in this case, and then building the robot. So first of all, brainstorming. This is where the process starts. It's super important that you take your time and come up with good, viable ideas. And you really need to spend a good amount of time on this. And you can get inspiration from a bunch of places. Like you can take the example of other teams or everyday objects. And I remember during our brainstorming process, one of our team members actually used a drawer as inspiration for our arms. So that just goes to show that you get inspiration from many different places. Next is team discussion. This is absolutely crucial because team discussion, one, helps your team communicate better, which is a big part of FTC. And then talking with your team gives you a chance to organize how you think of your idea, and it adds different perspectives to your work. So if there's something that you overlook, a possible problem or conflict, then having other people take a look at your work is super important in helping prevent such problems. Next is sketching, and like the slide says, before we begin any online design, we often use like paper or whiteboards to really clarify our ideas and take a look at what we're going to attempt to make. Now, CAD, computer-aided design, or like I said in this case, Fusion 360, is one of the main parts in the engineering process, especially with FTC, because one, it helps us plan for the future, and it really helps us see which parts to use and how our robot is going to come together as a whole. And this is also how the judges will see the work that we put into our robot through the different stages of designing. So I'm going to now attempt to share my other screen, which has Fusion 360 open. All right, I'm assuming that you can see the Fusion 360 screen up on here. And first of all is parts. Parts in Fusion 360 are going to be step files, and you can download them on the website of whatever parts manufacturer that you're going to be using. For example, the parts that I currently have on the screen are from Rev Robotics. We can also obviously use parts from any other manufacturing company. I have used GoBuilder parts in Fusion 360 before. And the first thing would be to make your design and organize your stuff, because it can get super messy if you don't. So I created this folder, and within that, I have a design over here, and these are the parts that I used in this design. I'm going to just show you the basics of how to upload. First of all, you would click this blue upload button and select file. Within that, you're going to probably go to your Finder, and there, these are my recently downloaded parts. So let's say I were to download this again, it would go through this entire process and upload it. As I already have it uploaded, I'm going to skip this, but obviously you'd click upload and it would show up in this bar over here. Now that you have the parts in that bar, you would right click and you would click insert into current design, and this would be the part that you have loaded. And then you can move this around with the move tool, just use the pan tool to move it around however you'd like. There is a wonderful little tool up in this right corner that helps us navigate the entire design, showing it from different angles, and you can click on these faces that will show you exactly from that part. As you can see up here, there's the new part that I put in. Now I'm going to show you one of the most useful tools that beginners use when it comes to FTC, and it's going to be in the top bar under Modify, and that is going to be the Move tool and the Align tool. So if we were to click on, let me just upload this into here again so I don't mess with anything else. So here, when we first upload it, it gives you these set of arrows and different planes. So you can use the arrows to move it up or down and to any of the other sides. But if you were to say, click out of it after you placed it, clicking OK over here, and you need to move it again, one option would be to move it simply with your mouse. However, that can be inefficient and can lead to messy design. So another thing you could do is you could click onto the part itself, either here in this bar of sorts that lists all the parts you have, or you could double click it and it will probably give you the same result. Right clicking, then you can do this Move/Copy tool, and then it's supposed to give you the bar, yes, you can see the arrows are back again, and then you can click a specific arrow and enter a value, how much you want to put it in. If I were to move it 10, then as you can see on the screen, it's moved precisely that amount. Now, if I were to want to connect these parts, if I want to do that efficiently, the other tool that I could use is the Align tool, which is super important. By the way, even if we are clicked into a tool and we're going to select a part of this part, I guess, we can still always use this tool up here to help us angle things better and zoom in, zoom out. So again, back to the Align tool. If I were to click this part of this channel, as we call it, and then I were to click this line, it would automatically snap to that line. And then you can go back to up here to this tool and move it with the Move tool and align it. So that's pretty much the basics of Fusion 360, and many different parts have set files that you can just download onto this, mess around. It's kind of like a puzzle if you think about it that way. And yeah, now on to the last step. I can share the screen again. There we go. Building the robot. When we all think of FTC, what probably comes to mind is, you know, tools, building the robot, testing it, that sort of stuff. So building the robot is probably one of the most fun parts when it comes to it, but it also has all of this work and design and the entire engineering process behind it. So when you have a clear plan using the engineering process and the design that you made and thinking about all the different things and aspects and problems that could come with the robot, if you get all the way to this point, it's really much more simple than you would think. Using the parts you designed in Fusion 360, putting it together, this is the final step in the engineering process. But after you build the robot, it's also very important that after testing, you go back. Like I said, the engineering process is a cycle, and so you have to go back and make revisions to your design, which is where the judges will also see that you tried it, you tested it. If something didn't work, you went back, found what the problem was, and redid the design, included it in your engineering notebook, and that's really a big part of what FTC is all about. So, and one more thing, thank you for your time.